21 minutes to 8. If you're on the receiving end of poor service in a shop or a restaurant, do you speak up or do you bite your lip?
Well, I know what you would do. Well, the very British thing to do, of course, excuse me, is to say nothing at the time, but to fume quietly for weeks afterwards.
Well, how can you complain constructively then without embarrassing yourself and everybody else around you? With us this morning, Jasper Grigson, author of The Complainer, and James Walker, founder of a new website called Disputer.com. Good morning to you both. So Disputer.com you log into and you get free advice on what to do, the best approach to take.
Absolutely.
Right?
So you log in and it will actually work out for you what you're potentially entitled to as compensation. It will then write the email for you if you want to do it as an email, or give you a call script. It will then record any communications and has the complete escalation chain from the customer services up to their MD. And if you can't resolve it, going to an independent body.
An electronic way of holding your hand when
Absolutely.
you go through the process.
Through the whole process.
Mm.
A bit embarrassing complaining sometimes. How can you do it without feeling awkward or that you're causing offence, even though you are potentially the one who's been wronged?
I think you're expressing the classic British view. People are embarrassed to complain and they think it's sissy, and actually that's the wrong attitude. The right attitude is to be assertive, and I think the best way for people to do it is in writing. You've got a record of what you're complaining about, and actually it's easier to confront, you know, the organisation in that mode, really.
But there are certain ways, though, to write a letter and certain words to use, because I think if you express anger, then all of a sudden it's quite easy to be dismissed by companies,
Well, I think that's right. You don't want to be abusive, either on the phone or otherwise in writing. Keep your letter short and to the point. Don't make it more than a page. You know, you don't want to bore the person who's reading it. Type it, obviously, if you can. Handwritten scrawl that's unreadable is no good. And I think keep it open-ended at the end. I look to you for a meaningful gesture of goodwill, because they may exceed your expectations.
James,
yes.
one potential hazard with your sort of approach is that if you are offering people sample letters, or if you're writing the letters for them on the website, then when the gas board or the gas companies or the water companies get them, they're going to say, oh, well, this is just off Disputer.com. We'll just give them the automatic response.
Possibly, but people can actually choose the type of emotion they want to have within the letters.
Well, do you have a range saying sort of gentle, you know, fairly concerned and completely and utterly outraged?
Absolutely. So you can choose effectively if you want to be informative, or whether you're angry, whether you're emotional, how you actually want to come across within that communication. And to be effective as well, what is Disputer doing? Well, actually, because it's got the complete escalation path, if you don't get what you want, actually you have the ability to go up that chain of command within that company very easily. So it's taking that pain and effort out of trying to get the issue resolved.
I mean, companies perhaps shouldn't be discarding letters, but what should you think is a reasonable amount of time to expect before you get a response or before your concerns are resolved?
I'd say they should acknowledge very quickly. I mean, a really bad company is one that leaves you with silence, because you think, what does it say about them? But I'd say 14 days.
But you're disappointed with them anyway, so you're not expecting much.
Well, I don't think you see that. Look at it from the company's point of view. A complaint is a fantastic opportunity for them to win over a customer, because the aggrieved customer who's turned around ends up being more loyal. That's the strange thing.
I mean, they need to use an opportunity to learn how to improve their service.
Absolutely. You know, the more feedback that goes into a company, the better the service they can deliver. And part of complaining needs to be effectively a constructive element.
And your service is free of charge?
Yes, yes.
How are you going to make money off it then?
So what we've got is a Ask a Legal Question service on there as well, in conjunction with Which. So if you've got any legal advice that you're looking for, we're working with Which to provide advice for people.
Mm.
Is there ever a time, Jasper, where you should just walk away if you're not getting anywhere with a company?
Maybe. I think sometimes you have to fight a war of attrition. You have to fight them on the beaches and not give up too quickly. And I'm afraid a lot of people do give up too quickly. Yeah, but absolutely, there are sometimes just get a life, but not that often for me.
And I suppose the trick is just don't get angry. Don't show them you're angry. Show that you're reasonable.
Compose yourself and then compose your letter.
Yes, indeed. And remain dedicated. But you see, you've written a book about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's just one of those things not to be embarrassed about. Expressing yourself, that's really the key to complaining.
OK,
right.
Jasper, James, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.